ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another Woodman Virtual Folk Club. This one is Series 2, Episode 5A. Oh yes. And please, without any further ado, let's welcome to the stage your MC for this evening, Mr. Bryn Phillips.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another Woodman Virtual Folk Club. After a month of wind and rain, things are looking up, and to brighten your spirits even more, we have another night of entertainment for you with some excellent acts. So, fill up your glasses and get ready for another wonderful evening of Woodman Virtual Entertainment. Brooks Williams has brought along an original acoustic blues song with a country feel called Here Comes the Blues. Please give a big Woodman welcome to Brooks Williams.
Time has come, the hour is late, no turning back the hand of fate. The world's gone mad, it's come unglued, the midnight deal is made, here comes the Here comes the blues, here comes the blues, here comes the blues, here comes the blues. Place to run, no place to hide, no way to cross this great divide. Out in the street, what's the news? Everybody's saying, here comes the blues. Here comes the blues, here comes the blues, here comes the blues, here comes the blues. The blues, here comes 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 the blues. Here comes the blues.
I'm loving it. What a great song. Once again, please, for Brooks Williams. Velvet Green have a touch of romance for us this evening. With their song, Where Lovers Often Meet, please welcome Velvet Green to the stage.
Hello.
Hi folks.
This is a song that Paul wrote with Tony called Where Lovers Often Meet. The same slow steps through a New York street to the all-night diner where lovers often meet. I did this yesterday and the night before, hoping to see sweet Monica once more. You saw her one day drinking coffee all alone. A few words exchanged, but in no time she drifted away. You already miss her beautiful smile. The way she laughed, saying see you in a little while. That late night walk you sometimes do, when you can't sleep you'll stroll down Fifth Avenue. The same slow steps through a New York street to the all-night diner where lovers often meet. We did this yesterday and the night before, hoping to see sweet Monica once more. That late night walk you sometimes do, when you can't sleep you stroll down Fifth Avenue. You did this yesterday and the night before, hoping to see sweet Monica once more, hoping to see hoping to see sweet Monica once more. Hoping to see sweet Monica once more. But you never do.
Super. A lovely song and a great performance. Let's hear it again, please, for Velvet Green. It's time for some ragtime guitar, folks. With an original tune called Seize the Day, please give a big welcome to James Rigby. Wonderful. Let's hear it once more, please, for James Rigby. Now, this is one of those songs to think about. It's a John Richards original called How Do You Sleep, performed by the John Richards Band.
Whose hands are stained with deception? Who writes the leader's overstated address? You change or ignore inconvenient clause that stand in the way of his progress. Good hearts and minds will oppose him, but critics are soon swept away. Like sticks in a stream as democracy's dream washes south with each sad passing day. Tell me I don't know who you are, there's a sea of faces behind it all. Tell me how do you sleep at night? Tell me how do you sleep at night? Tell me how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at all? Who keeps an arm in the silence each time a new black life is lost? Then protesters get blamed and activists shamed for the trouble and damage they've caused. Who seeks to play down a murder? A young woman shot in her own flat. They fired 32 times but there's no major crime, just one metro policeman was sacked. Tell me I don't know who you are, simple exchange rate of the pound against somebody's life? And how can this thief spend more time in jail than the man who killed the world and his wife? So tell me, I don't know who you are. There's a sea of faces behind it all. Tell me, how do you sleep at night? Tell me, how do you sleep at night? Tell me, how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at all? How do you sleep at all? How do you sleep at all? How do you sleep at
A great song and an excellent performance. Once more, please, for the John Richards Band. All the way from Spain, with a cynical song about English heritage, please welcome Ian and Anne Munro.
Good afternoon, or good evening, all you Woodmanites. We booked the ferry. Whether we can get there is another matter with the restrictions and isolation still in force. But anyway,
keeping our fingers crossed, anyway.
This is a Regimura song called England Green. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair today, to my home, my love, my England. I believe in dignity, rich or austerity and slavery, I thought we'd left behind us. I don't believe the BBC in anarchy or monarchy, or an empire built on piracy. By our history you'll find us. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair today, to my home, my love, my England. For years our women had no say, no right to work or equal pay. God bless the disabled and the gay, the fragile flowers of England. Shut the factories, shut the mines, punish those who fall hard times, and honour those who do the crimes. For the greedy men of England, England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair today, to my home, my love, my England. How can a man respect a man who sells his house and steals his land, then takes the wages from his hand to pay his own fair today. To my home, my love, my England. Sing the songs of old John Bull, Cecil Sharp and John and Paul. Come English folk, come one and all, to the sweet songs of our England. Take my hand and walk with me down the back roads to the sea, in spite of which we both agree there's none so sweet as England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair today. To my home, my love, my England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair today. To my home, my love, my England.
We sound homesick.
There you go.
Another excellent performance from our wonderful friends in Spain, Ian and Anne Munro. Educational time now, as Malky gives us a Skellen and Stilgo song entitled Ode to the Dewey Decimal System. Please welcome Malcolm Jeffrey to the stage.
Hiya Woodman. An Ode to the Dewey Decimal System for you by Peter Skellen and Richard Stilgo. Joyce the Librarian, strict vegetarian, 40 and living with mum. Wears sandals and glasses, attends evening classes and wonders if romance will come. Though she'd never been kissed, 'twasn't something she'd missed until some weeks before, when George the Rotarian, handsome Lotharian, walked in through her library door. George was unmarried, and the torch that Joyce carried was burning a hole in her heart. She wanted to show him, but didn't yet know him. She wasn't quite sure where to start. So with growing abhorrence, she read D.H. Lawrence to glean some new ideas, which she then turned down flat. One couldn't do that, not in a million years. Joyce the Librarian, strict vegetarian, was burning with animal lust. Alarming sensations, strange palpitations, a mix of delight and disgust. So she busied herself rearranging her shelf to try to control her dreams. Joyce the Librarian, disciplinarian, was coming apart at the seams. The very next day she kept out of his way when George returned his books. But with growing conviction she stalked him through fiction and cast him lascivious looks. And when George joined her queue, she knew just what to do. She smiled and removed her specs, then looked down in horror, 'cause he'd come to borrow the further joy of sex. Perhaps because latterly she'd read Lady Chatterley, something just snapped in her head. She gave herself gladly, completely and madly to George that same night in his bed. But then, just as you feared, George disappeared, some other librarians to woo. Now there's a sob in her voice, as both Book and Joyce are a fortnight overdue.
I hope you're listening carefully to that. Well done, Malky. Malcolm Jeffrey, everyone. It's always nice to have Kim Lowings and the Greenwood with us. Tonight they have a lovely song about reaching out and healing called Willow. A big Woodman welcome for Kim Lowings and the Greenwood.
Put your
Another wonderful Kim Lowings original. Once again, please, for Kim Lowings and the Greenwood. Cousin Baz have come along tonight with a John Ondrasik song called 100 Years. It's all about life's journey. Please welcome Cousin Baz.
This is a song called 100 Years by John Ondrasik.
I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy, time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you've only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment, still a man, but you see I'm the age with a kid on the way, the family on my mind. I'm 45 for a moment, the sea is high, and I'm heading into a crisis, chasing the years of my life. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy, time to lose yourself within the morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you've only got 100 years to live. Time goes by, suddenly you're wise, another blink of the eye, 67 is gone, and I'm dreaming on, I'm moving on. I'm 99 for a moment, dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy, time to choose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live.
Well done both. A great rendition of a very thoughtful song. Once again, please, for Cos and Baz. John Hoorah is back to his roots tonight with the classic Ralph McTell song, The Hiring Fair. Please welcome John Hoorah.
Hi everybody, I hope you're enjoying striding off into the new world of refound freedoms. I'm sort of limping off into it, but that's another story. I'm going to do a Ralph McTell song because I'm on my own for this one. This is The Hiring Fair, which Ralph once described as Mills and Boon meets 17th century rural England. Hope you like it. I went down to the hiring fair for to sell my labour, and I noticed a maid in the very next row, and I hoped she'd be my neighbour. Imagine then, oh my delight, when the farmer picked us both. I spoke not a word on the cart to the farm, but my heart beat in my throat. Lodging was dry and my master fair, and I gave him full measure. But my envy grew like corn in the fields, for in his house was my treasure. And I'd watch her carry water or drive cows from the byre, and the heat from the sun made the corn grow strong, and with it my desire. I'd see her in my dreaming, and in my dreams caress her eyes, her lips, her dark brown hair, and the curves beneath her dress. And harvest time it came at last, so heavy was the task, that the women and the men worked side by side, and I had her near at last. I swung harder with my scythe, few words between us passed, and I cursed my tongue-tied youthfulness, and hoped she'd hear my heart. When all was safely gathered in, we sat down to rest. My trembling fingers touched her arm, and she placed them on her breast. Turned to me as the sun went down, and all my senses reeled. We lay there on the scented ground, and the moon was over the field. Safely gathered in my arms when from the barn drifted the sound of a violin, and we hurried back to the farm, and all were dancing in the lantern light, and music filled the air, and I thank my stars for the harvest moon, and the girl from the hiring fair. I thank my stars for the harvest moon, and the girl from the hiring fair.
As always, very well performed. Let's hear it again, please, for John Hoare. And now, an original murder ballad penned by Paul Walker. Listen to how celebration turns to tragedy in the ballad of the Queen of May, performed by Paul Walker and Karen Pfeiffer.
It was 1890 and the 1st of May. Aileen Palmer was the first to say, am I the favourite of the village fair? Have a wonder heart with my long brown hair. Yes, she won their hearts with her long brown hair. Now she's to be the Queen of May, our flower bride, our fairy maid. Let's all pray for purity and growth throughout our valley. Yes, she's to be the Queen of May. Let flowers fashioned in a crown be made on Farrow Green by the chapel fair. Folk will gather for to see her there. Yes, folk will gather for to see her there. So let's all sing for the Queen of May, our flower bride, our fairy maid. Let's all pray for purity and growth throughout our valley. And as the children danced around the Queen, the sounds of joy that filled the green would ring around this place today if history could have its way. But as they danced behind the oak, a darker beauty drew her cloak. If truth be known, her heart was vexed. Just the devil knew what would happen next. Just the devil knew what would happen next. So let's all hope for the Queen of May, our flower bride, our fairy maid. Let's all pray for purity and growth throughout our valley. So when all was done and the sunlight waned, she followed her down the languid lane, and the fist of stones now dry and dull she brought down hard on Aileen's skull. And as Aileen lay in a pool of red, she took the crown and put it on her head and spun around with a cry of glee.
The Queen of May, at last it is me. Yes, the Queen of May, at last it is me.
So let's all weep for the Queen of May, our flower bride, our fairy maid. Let's all pray for purity and growth throughout our valley. Let's all weep for the Queen of May, our flower bride, our fairy maid. Let's all pray for purity and growth throughout our valley.
A dark song, wonderfully performed by a fantastic duo. Once more, please, for Paul and Karen. Romance is once more in the air. This time we have a romantic song written by Rob Brunt called Call of the Canyon. Please welcome Rob Brunt to our stage.
It's the cold of the canyon. Once again I'm dreaming of you. It's the cold of the canyon. Once again I'm dreaming of you. Every night I search the moonlight up and down the river shores. It's the cold of the canyon. Maybe I will find you once more. It's the cold of the canyon. Maybe I will find you once more. Standing all alone at the ashes of the fire we said would never die. Will I ever find an ember burning from the days gone by? Then I hear a lonely whisper. There's a little spark I see. It's the cold of the canyon, bringing back your answer to me. It's the call of the canyon, bringing back your answer to me. As a little spark I see. It's the call of the canyon, bringing back your answer to me. It's the call of the canyon, bringing back your answer to me.
Great stuff, another Rob Brunt classic. Once more please for Rob Brunt. We now have one of my favourite Les Barker poems performed by Jeff Hawksworth with Have You Got Any News of the Iceberg? Please welcome Jeff Hawksworth.
Rainy night on a Liverpool quayside in the years before the Great War. The world was in shock at the loss of Titanic, so proud had they been days before. Relatives gathered for news of their loved ones, to read through the list of the dead, when into the throng came a sad-eyed old polar bear, and to the clerk at the counter he said, "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me. My wife and my children were coming from Greenland to be by my side in the zoo. Belinda's my wife, and the eldest called Bernard, and Billy, well, he's only 2. I know on the ship there were hundreds of people, and I know that the iceberg's not yours." The polar bear's eyes held the start of a teardrop as he covered his face with his paws. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me. It's been over a year since I last saw my children. I left home to build a career. I've worked very hard. I'm the star of the circus. It's all been for nothing, I fear. There's my face on the poster. We're in town this week. My children were meeting me here." Everyone watched as he struggled to speak, as his paw brushed away one more tear. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me." By now all the people had gathered beside him. His grief was one they could share. The people around him, in silence and sadness, listened to the sad polar bear. "I wanted my children to see me performing, and Belinda, she would have been proud." At last, lost for words, his tears flowing freely, the question was asked by the crowd. "Have you got any news of the iceberg? My family were on it, you see. Have you got any news of the iceberg? They mean the whole world to me."
That poem is so good and so well delivered. Well done, Jeff. Let's hear it again, please, for Jeff Hawksworth. David Starr has a song for us that he wrote together with Irene Kelly. It's called Don't Give Me Hope, which relates to the dying embers of romance. Please welcome David Starr.
Well, you say that you love me, you don't want to hurt me. No, you believe that it's real. But if you should ask me what I really need, well, I'll tell you just how I feel. The damage is done, nobody won. It's time that we both face the facts. And those baby blue eyes and pretty words won't bring me back. So don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on to your promises, pulling me back to the past when I should move on. Hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all, I've got just enough rope to pull myself out. So don't give me hope. Don't say you'll be different, 'cause you can't be different. Believe me, baby, I know we want what we can't have. Stubborn as I am, I can tell when it's time to let go. There's no denying those demons you're fighting me. I'll always be there in your way, but I'm fighting them too each time you ask me to stay. Don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on to your promises, pulling me back to the past when I should move on. Hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all, I got just enough rope to pull myself out. Don't give me hope. So tell me one good lie. Say you never loved me, that'll make it so easy to tell you goodbye. Don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on. Your promises pulling me back to the past, but I should move on. Hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all, I got just enough rope to pull myself out. So don't give me hope, got just enough rope to pull myself out. So don't give me hope. Don't give me hope.
What an excellent song with great lyrics and an infectious chorus. David Starr, everyone. That's the end of the first part of tonight's entertainment, and once again we've had some excellent songs from a variety of accomplished performers. We've still got part 2 to look forward to, so sort out your drinks and snacks, and we'll see you again soon.